Fukuzawa Kitase, a young man with a penchant for slumber, experiences fantastical escapades in his dreams alongside an elven maiden. Upon awakening, he discovers her by his side, embarking on fresh journeys together throughout Japan. The anime's inaugural episode introduces us to Kitase, a company employee. After his workday concludes, he gathers his belongings, prepared to return home. A colleague calls out to him, mentioning that their department is throwing a gathering that evening and inviting him to join. Kitase declines, stating that he always departs punctually and never lingers after hours. True to form, he arrives at his modest abode right on schedule, valuing his strict adherence to his work routine. Kitase is an average office worker with aspirations of advancement within the company. Cooking holds no appeal for him, with his main pastime being the act of sleeping. We also learn that since his youth, Kitase has been captivated by fantasy settings, worlds filled with swords, shields, arcane arts, combat, and triumph. He would repeatedly read narratives of this nature, wearing down the pages of his books. One day, his dreams change, and upon opening his eyes, he finds himself transported to an alternate reality, one brimming with sorcery and steel. Though now an adult, he still savors these escapades just as he did in his childhood dreams. He attempts to battle fantastical beasts, but is defeated, only to suddenly wake up in his own bed. Though each day presents truly terrifying circumstances, the incredible scenery somehow lessens the impact of the situation. Next, we observe Kazuhiko admiring the landscape when his companion Mary approaches. Mary, an elf with amethyst eyes, possesses an eternal youth, despite living for over a century. Kazuhiko greets her, remarking on her absence due to her increased activity following her acceptance into the Wizard Guild. Mary teases him, claiming he possesses an elven quality due to his simple lifestyle. Just like in the past, Kazuhiko asks her to join him in investigating the nearby ruins of Nasal, a submerged city that mysteriously vanished yet remains mostly preserved. Mary demurs, reluctant to be alone with him. Kazuhiko then suggests sharing his midday meal with her, and she accepts as they head toward the ruins. They discuss the city and its civilization, which collapsed because of a strange malady. Mary finds it difficult to fathom how such an advanced and magically inclined city could be undone by something so commonplace. Kazuhiko tells her that this has become one of the 7 unsolved mysteries of the region, and although he desires to unravel its secrets, he's fine if he doesn't. They enter the city, which is shrouded in shadows. Mary employs her magic to cast light, showcasing the vast scale of the ruins. The two marvel at how the city could have endured for a millennium. They ultimately discover a location to rest and settle down to enjoy their lunch. Mary is surprised when she opens Kazuhiko's lunchbox to find all of her favorite foods contained inside. They eat heartily, finding it incredibly delicious, and Kazuhiko pours a cup of tea for her to complement the meal. He mentions that the food improves as it cools down, because he prepared it with fresh spring vegetables, making it full of nutrients. Mary thanks him for the wonderful food, before asking where he was born. He replies that he was born in Japan, a place Mary has never heard of, as this country doesn't appear on any map. He clarifies that it is an island nation located far away. He then invites her to join him on his upcoming travels, but she replies that she is occupied studying magic, though she would enjoy accompanying him occasionally. Their exploration continues, and Mary suddenly spots a monster, prompting her and Kazuhiko to hide. When Kazuhiko looks at the monster, he runs toward it, happily greeting it, as they've known each other for a long time. He assures Mary that the creature is a friend he made long ago. Eri, however, doesn't understand them and is quite surprised that Kazuhiko can speak with monsters. Kazuhiko explains that because he had been attacked repeatedly, it took him 3 years to learn the monster language. Eri asks what the monster conveyed, and Kazuhiko responds that the monster had warned them that it is the dragon breeding period, so they must remain cautious. Mary expresses interest in seeing the dragon eggs, but Kazuhiko declines, stating that dragons can be dangerous and unpredictable during their mating season. They proceed to an area where a dragon can be found, the darkness even more profound in here. Mary casts a night vision enhancement on Kazuhiko, allowing him to see. He spots a dragon and realizes the noise they had heard was the respiration of a sleeping dragon. As Mary's gaze falls upon it, she notes that the dragon is dark in color, with an immense density of magical energy surrounding it. She surmises it to be a magical dragon, capable of producing magic energy with its breath alone. Fear overcomes her, as this type of dragon only emerges once every 1,000 years. They then hear the dragon stir, and they become panicked, convinced that they have awoken it. As Yuhako instructs her to relax, stating that they can escape should things go poorly, the doors suddenly slam shut and the lights go out, trapping them inside. Mary and Kazuhiko are now terrified. Mary cries out that they are trapped and the dragon stands to attack them. Kazuhiko mumbles, "Looks like today is my day to die. At least I wanted to see the eggs." Suddenly, Kitashi jolts awake from his dream. "This is the mysterious side of my personality. I'm just a normal office worker, but I love my dreams and I can even eat in them. I wish I could remain there longer." He notices someone next to him and is shocked to find Mary, the same Mary who was in his dream. This was the day his perception of the most unusual aspect of his existence changed. Kitase is startled when Mary also awakens. He asks if she's all right, since they're still in the dragon's breath. He observes Mary looking out the window, completely amazed. Mary then asks Kitase about this place, and Kitase thinks to himself, she must be shocked, finding herself in a place that's completely new to her. Mary happily exclaims, "If you reside in a tall structure such as this, you must be incredibly affluent. I have never witnessed a city so sophisticated before." Kitase is very happy to see Mary so full of excitement, just like a child experiencing their first time at an amusement park. She queries about the tower, noting that the most powerful wizards likely inhabit it. Kitase explains that the tower is called the Sky Tree. "The view is exceptional today, because it's cherry blossom season. We should go and see it. I'm off work today, so I'll take you to see the area where I live, and then we can go and have some food." Kitase thinks that this world feels different. At that moment, the dragon's breath reminds him why he brought her to this world. Mary happily marvels at the clothing, exclaiming how free she feels in them. Kitase admits, "To be honest, I didn't know what to choose, but seeing you now, it seems as though everything you wear suits you." She asks him, "Is this the Japan that you mentioned earlier?" Kitase replies, "We will see everything in the city, and you'll step into a world completely unknown to you." Later, we see Mary, frightened by being inside a vehicle. She comments, "This area is breathtaking and wonderful. Living here would be easy." Kitase responds, "There are also no monsters here." They go to a restaurant to eat. Eri inquires to Kitase, "Could you clarify what I'm doing in Japan? I have no memory after the dragon attacked. All of a sudden, I am in a country where I don't comprehend the language or script, and furthermore, I have become an adult." Kitase answers, "I don't know much either, so most of my explanation is guesswork." He asks if she has ever traveled to unfamiliar places in her dreams. "For me, all our previous adventures took place in this way, within the realm of dreams. I found you here for some reason this morning, and I realized that my dream was real." Mary asks, "Do you navigate between two worlds while dreaming?" Kitase responds, "It's not just sleep that brings me back from that world to this one. The monster attacks also brought me back. Maybe because I held on to you so tightly, I pulled you with me into this world. But you are alive. I believe that once you fall asleep, you might be able to return to your world. I think that time flows at different rates in both worlds, and the time that I spend in the other world may have an effect on my growth here." Then Mary notices the food, astonished by its appearance. She eats with great delight. Later, Kitase takes her to see the cherry blossoms, which make Mary very happy. She says, "There are so many spirits I have never encountered. It's absolutely wonderful and beautiful." To this, Kitase replies, "The cherry blossom season is very special here in Japan. I want you to enjoy our most wonderful season to the fullest." Kitase muses to himself,